to the 2015 District 1 Boys Swim Meet. Can I please ask you to stand and be silent for the national anthem, which is being sung by Justin McKinnon from Springboro.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Justin. We're going to start with the boys. 200-meter relay.
Good afternoon and welcome to the 2015 version of the Boys Division I Southwest District Swimming Championships. We are here at the beautiful Corwin M. Nixon Natatorium at Miami University. I am Marty Hubble with my partner Mike Andrews. Mike, welcome.
Hello, hello. How are we doing, Marty?
This event was continued by Mother Nature for one day. It was scheduled for Saturday morning. We got 7.5, 8 inches of snow yesterday. They postponed it to today. So this is it's a little bit of a change, but these kids are pretty resilient, and we'll see what they have for us. So what are you looking forward to today, Mike?
Well, as always, I'm looking for some pretty fast swimming out of our district. We usually put a good number of state qualifiers in addition to the 2 automatic bids that our district produced is allowed. We have a number of at-large qualifiers that, based on the times, places 3 through the rest, that put a number of kids into the state meet and can get to Canton. So it's always fun to watch the depth of this district, and looking forward to some fast races.
Absolutely. This is the second leg in the state swimming tournament. There were the sectionals last week. This is the district championship, and the final meet will be next week in Canton, Ohio, the state championships. So the swimmers are using this to qualify for that meet. We're going to have, depending on the particular event, 3 to 5 heats of each event. It is not indicative of where you are as to whether or not you can qualify. Any swimmer in any race in any heat can qualify for the state championships if they swim fast enough. And as we see the first event to get us started off here, this is the boys 200-yard medley relay. This is our very first heat. The officials are making sure everything is correct with the timing system. All the timers are in place, all the officials are in place before we start the meet. See the swimmers there anxiously awaiting the start of this 200 medley relay. The district meet record was set back in 2000 by Cincinnati St. Xavier. They've had a long history in this event, probably have lost twice in the last 30 years. It's a time of 1:33.12. The time on the scoreboard clock reads 11:44. The meet scheduled to start at 11:45. And I don't think I've ever been to a meet where they've started early. So as soon as that clock ticks over, I think they will call the backstrokers into the water. This event goes from backstroke, breaststroke, butterfly, and freestyle. There we can see the meet record and the lineup for our first heat. Mike, why don't you go ahead and tell us who's in our first heat?
All right, in lane 1, Trenton Edgewood. Lane 2, Troy. Lane 3, Oak Hills. Lane 4, Kettering Fairmont. Lane 5, Springfield. Lane 6, Clayton Northmont. Lane 7, Fairfield. And in lane 8, Beaver Creek. And we had a pretty clean start. Looks like in lane 8, Dennis Lee from Beaver Creek off to a little bit of a slight edge.
You'll see a lot of lead changes in the 200 medley relay. Some teams will have good backstrokers, some will have good breaststrokers.
Looks like going into the backstroke to breaststroke transition, the team from Springfield is out to the very short lead. John Spencer leading his team off with a 26.61.
Very good breaststroker there in lane 5 for Springfield. Moving up over in lane 7 is the team from Fairfield. They're going to be coming into the halfway point, leading into the butterfly leg. And it is going to be Fairfield at the halfway point, 25/100ths ahead of Springfield. Good start there by lane 4, the team from Fairmont. Last year, it took a 1:38.77 as a time to qualify for the state meet.
It's like the team from lane 4, Fairmont's got a pretty sizable lead on this heat, leading into the last and final leg, the freestyle.
Pretty good freestyle there for the anchor leg on Fairmont. Expanding to a body length and a half lead over the team from Springfield. And in our first heat to start it off, it is going to be Fairmont in a time of 1:42.45, followed by the team from Springfield, and out in lane 8, Beaver Creek. So again, last year it took a time of 1:38.77 to qualify for the state meet. These teams will likely not qualify, but still a pretty good swim. And big improvements by all the teams from their times last week at the section meets. Here we go, the second heat. Backstrokers ready to jump into the pool. The whistle signifies it's time to do so. We have 3 heats total. This is the second heat. We will almost certainly see a team that will qualify to the state meet out of this heat.
And in lane 1, Kings. Lane 2, LaSalle. Lane 3, Anderson. Lane 4, Springboro. Lane 5, Turpin. Lane 6, Sycamore. Lane 7, Elder. And in lane 8, Lebanon.
Out to an early lead, the team from Springboro. Actually, lane 1, Kings had a good second 25 there. They're going to be the early leader. Pretty tightly bunched group at this point. But right now, it's Kings out at the top of your screen, leading over the team from Springboro in the blue cap. Good pull out by the breaststroker from Springboro, taking the lead, coming into the halfway point.
Transition, the team from Springboro still in a commanding lead with a 52.12. Stretching out with a very good butterfly transition start from Justin Chapman there in lane 4.
Good stroke finish by the butterflyer from Springboro, handing off to the freestyle leg. Maybe a little long on that finish, but a good split. They are on track. Their freestyler can finish here, but they will be under the time that it took last year to qualify for the state meet.
And coming into the wall, the team from Springboro touches in a 1:38.05.
Good swim by the team from Springboro. dropping 4.5 seconds from their time last week at the sectional meet. That's a time, again, last year it took a time of 1:38.77 to qualify. So they are under that time. This is not an event where there's a specific time that it takes to qualify. They're going to be swimming district championships all over the state, and they're going to add up all the times at the end. And they take 24 people, and hopefully Springboro will make it in. All right, and this is our final heat of the boys' 200-yard medley relay.
And in lane 1, we have the team from Walnut Hills. Lane 2, Butler. Lane 3, Moeller. Lane 4, St. Xavier. Lane 5, Lakota East. Lane 6, Centerville. Lane 7, Lakota West. And rounding out the field in lane 8, Mason.
St. Xavier, the champion last year. See the swimmers getting ready for the whistle. There it is. And this is the final heat of the boys' 200 medley relay. Top seed is St. Xavier, looking for a good swim out of them. Very quick start by the team in lane 6, Centerville.
Dylan Curtis with a very strong start there for the Centerville team in lane 6. Coming into the backstroke, the breaststroke transition.
23.06 for the backstroke from Centerville. That's very strong. Pretty closely bunched. Centerville is out to the early lead. St. Xavier is still right there. I look for them to have a very strong second half.
Team from Centerville still looks like an early lead. And in lane 2, the team from Butler out to a strong start at the first 100 at 49.31.
White cap, you see the underwater shot there. The swimmer's dolphin kicking off the wall. It's a tight battle here between Cincinnati St. Xavier and the team from Centerville. 5-100 separates the teams going into the freestyle leg. Great start by the swimmer from St. Xavier. Moving up fast, the team from Moeller.
And touching first,
And
St. Xavier with a 1:33.03.
Great anchor leg there by the swimmer from Moeller. Almost caught up the swimmer from Cincinnati. You can see our district record. Missed it by 18/100ths of a second. Still a very good swim. Very good start to the meet to our prohibitive favorite in this favorite for the state champions, the Cincinnati St. Xavier Aqua Bombers. Mike, I don't think we've ever done this event without some district record going down. That was almost our first one to start the meet.
The awards for the 200 medley relay are going to be presented by Lonnie Swayze from Centerville. In 8th place, Lakota West, Sean McCracken, Jackson Tinsley, Benjamin Paluski, and Robert Skoog. 7th place, Springboro, Cameron Wallace, Zach Backer, Justin Chapman, and Ben Haredza. In 6th place, Butler, Corey Shanahan, Tommy Cope, Brendan Shanahan, and Zach Bookout. In 5th place, Mason, Joel Thatcher, Terry Tao, Peter He, and Makopi Mawalpindi. In fourth place, Lakota East, Matt McDonald, Keith Jesse, Josh McDonald, and Brad Barron. In third place, Sandoval, Dylan Curtis, Nathan Lowry, Chris Quarren, and Austin Sproul. In second place, Mola, Noah Warabitz, Cooper Hodge, Jacob Palaquin, and Kevin George. And in first place with a 1:33.30, just off the meet record, Cincinnati St. Xavier with James Ray, Mitchell Frey, Luke Sobolewski, and Nicholas Pereira. Cincinnati St. Xavier, district champions.
All right. And there are the top 8 finishers in the boys 200.
And we're now going to move into the 200-yard
from last year.
freestyle.
Next event up on the docket is the boys 200-yard freestyle.
And we have 4 heats. This boys 200-yard freestyle. And last year, it took a 1:43.78 to make the state meet. So probably as pretty consistent over the past couple years of times that these boys will be shooting for to try to make it up to state next weekend. We have the district record in this event as a 1:36.48 set in 1991 by Joe Hudipole.
I think this could be an interesting race. Our top seed, Grant House, has been faster than the current district record. He is a pretty phenomenal talent, had a great freshman campaign last year, winning the state championship event. And I think he could be challenging that record.
And in this first heat of the boys 200 freestyle, we have Cameron Frazier from Centerville, Trenton Walker from Princeton, Joe Moreno, Sycamore, John Spencer, Springfield, Nate Watkins, Troy, lane 6, Austin Murphy, Moeller, lane 7, Dan Richard,
Out to
LaSalle, and in lane 8, Dawson Lutz, Beaver.
Sorry, Mike. Out to our early lead there is Austin Murphy, the freshman from Cincinnati Moeller, taking a pretty strong lead over the rest of the field in our first heat. Again, all these swimmers swam last week in the sectional championships based upon their times that were seeded into this event. Halfway, we still have Austin Murphy, fastest split in the field for the second 50. He is a freshman. Typically, you have a lot of younger swimmers in the first couple of heats.
It's a good way for the underclassmen to get some experience in a big meet like this, to get just the big race experience, especially with a little bit of challenge, since the meet was not held on the day it was supposed to. Kind of makes you become a little bit more flexible in your racing preparation and everything.
Outside smoke, Dawson Lutz, who is the last person to get into this district event, is having a strong last 100.
And coming into the wall, it's Dawson Lutz touching it at 1:51.88.
Freshman from Beaver Creek.
Followed by Austin Murphy from Moeller at 1:53.06.
Dawson Lutz dropped almost 6 seconds from his time from last week, so it's a very good swim for him. The swimmers are climbing out of the pool. We're getting ready for our second heat of 4, the boys 200-yard freestyle. All right, Heat 2 is in the water. In lane 1, we have Justin Parrott, a freshman from Northmont. Lane 2, Daniel Cashel, freshman from Walnut Hills. 3, Hunter Buskin, a senior from Oak Hills. 4, Bradley Greenberger, sophomore from Sycamore. 5, Kyle Griebert. 6, Matthew Kites. 7, Michael Sparks. And in lane 8, Adam Vale, a senior from Elder.
And turning first, Bradley Greenberger from Sycamore out to the early lead.
Out to a strong start here. Pretty odd not to see kids swimming with caps nowadays. Caps are, with the material that they use is faster than hair being used as drag. Doesn't seem to be affecting young Michael Sparks, the junior from Centerville. Centerville typically has the blonde dyed hair. Xavier has the blue dyed hair.
For the fashion conscious among us out there, wanting to keep our swimmers straight by hair color.
You would never dye your hair. You've got. When you were representing St. Xavier, you would never touch that.
That blue dyeing happened well after my days there representing the Aqua Bombers, Marty. But I was more one to don the swim cap than to shave my head, which I do believe that you were a head shaver, right, Marty?
I was.
Yes.
Unlike our Heat 2 winner here, Michael Sparks, with a time of 1:47.57. Good swim for that young man. There we see the dyed yellow hair. He's too tired to be excited yet. Again, last year it took a 1:43.78 to qualify for the meet. So a little bit off of that, but still a very good swim for the junior from Centerville. All right, that completes our second of 4 heats. This is the third heat of the boys' 200-yard freestyle. Again, it doesn't matter what heat a swimmer swims in. Any person in any heat can win the race.
And in lane 1, Ethan May, Sycamore. 2, John Heidelman, Sycamore. Lane 3, Noah Warbetz, Moeller. Lane 4, Hank Sheffert, Xenia. Lane 5, Austin Theobald, Moeller. Lane 6, Sean McCracken, Lakota West. Lane 7, Alex Metchler, Mason. Lane 8, Max Hanzara, Springboro.
Hank Seifert out to the early lead there in the middle of the pool, the blue cap. Being very aggressive. Again, this is 8 lengths of the pool. We're coming in on the halfway point here. He's being followed up there in lane number 6, Sean McCracken. Very strong first 100, 48.2. It's important not to waste too much energy that first 100, and it looks like Hank Seifert has done that. He looks pretty good here on the third 50.
It's building up into this 150 turn.
It's a great swim by Hank Seifert. He's going to be very close to breaking the 1 minute and 40 second barrier, which would probably put him in the top 8 at the state meet next week if he can hold on.
Coming strong off the wall.
Our Heat 3 winner, Hank Seifert, is going to qualify for the state meet and just missed getting under 1 minute 40 seconds. There's Sean McCracken getting second. Both of those young men will qualify for the state meet most likely. You see 140.90. That's a great swim by our Heat 3 winner.
six and a half second drop from his time at sectionals last week. Very, very good swim by the sophomore from Xenia.
Excellent swim. That puts him in a position to score points for his school next week at the state championships in Canton. All right, that brings us to the final heat of the boys 200-yard freestyle. This is an event that I'm looking forward to watching. Lane 1, Hassler Carroll, junior from Anderson. Lane number 2, Grant Carr, a senior from St. Xavier. Lane 3, Justin Hove, a senior from Mason. Lane 4, our defending state champion, our defending district champion, Grant House, a sophomore from St. Xavier. Lane 5, a sophomore from Lakota East, Joshua McDonald. Lane 6, he's a junior from St. Xavier, Matt Slaby. Lane 7, Charles Liebson from St. Xavier. And in lane 8, rounding out our field, Joel Thatcher, a junior from Mason. In last year, lane 4, Grant House was just over a second off of the district meet record. The record that has lasted since 1991 by high school champion, Olympic champion Joe Hudipole. Grant House going out pretty smooth. Pretty tightly bunched field. Grant House looks pretty relaxed.
Slowly extending his lead there off that third turn, going into the 100 split. Pretty tightly bunched field, though, all in all. Looking forward to these next, this next 50 really, in my opinion, kind of sets the tempo for the whole 100 or 200 freestyle.
You want to see the swimmers maintain the tempo that they had in the second 50 into the third 50, not have much of a drop-off. Grant House was 24.6 on that second 50. We would like to see something in that range if he's going to challenge our district record.
And Grant turns, and this split was a 25.05, 1:12.56. Looking really good with strong leg drive coming in. It looks like we have a real good race for second here between Justin Hove, Josh McDaniels, and Matt Slabe.
Grant House coming in to defend his district championship, time of 1:38.15. A little bit slower than he went last year, only by a couple of tenths. I think he's focusing his energies next week at the state championship. Still, to have three swimmers under that 140 barrier, Matt Slaby there, the junior from Cincinnati St. Xavier, that's also a good swim to break under 1 minute and 40 seconds. Good event, two good events in a row. We are going to go to the awards and we'll be right back.
The medals are going to be presented by Jim Brower from St. Xavier. In 8th place, Charles Lieberson, a sophomore from St. Xavier. In 7th place, a senior from St. Xavier, Grant Carr. In 6th place, a sophomore from Xenia, Hank Seifert. In 5th place, a junior from Anderson, Hassler Carroll. In 4th place, a sophomore from Lakota East, Josh McDonald. In 3rd place, a junior from St. Xavier, Matt Slaby. In 2nd place, a senior from Mason, Justin Hove. And in 1st place, defending his district title, a sophomore from St. Xavier, Grant House. Congratulations.
All right, and there are our top 8 finishers in the boys 200 freestyle relay, all of them bettering the time that it took to qualify for the state meet last year. And that brings us to our third event of the evening, the boys 200-yard individual medley. This consists of a 50 of butterfly, backstroke, breaststroke, and freestyle in that order, despite what can't remember that Derek Shear would think.
A 50 of each event. That's 2 laps instead of 1.
That's correct.
Our
That's
friend
correct.
poor Derek.
We have 4 heats here.
And the district meet record in this event was set in 2008 by Brandon Howell, 149.66, and last year it took a 156.97 was the time it took to make the state meet. And in this first heat of 4, Matthew Keller, lane 1 from Centerville, Rick New from Sycamore, 3, Josh Ryan, Beaver Creek, 4, Nicholas Holler, Anderson, lane 5, Sebastian Castillo, Mason, lane 6, Teddy Schlier, Kings, 7, Vinny Wolfram, Springboro, lane 8, Jared Cox, Oak Hills.
All right, out to the early lead there, and lane number 1, Matthew Kelleher. He is the junior from Centerville with a very strong fly leg. It is uncommon for these swimmers to be good at all 4 strokes, so you will see lead changes. Not very many 200 IMers are good at breaststroke, so you might see a breaststroker that's not in the lead right now kind of pop up here on the third leg of this 200 IM.
And turning at the 100 in the lead is Josh Ryan from Beaver Creek. A solid backstroke split. This is the part, as Marty was saying, you will definitely start seeing the boys more proficient in the breaststroke starting to make their move.
This will even the field out a little. You see lane 2 there in the black and green cap at the top of your screen, and in the white cap there, Nicholas Holler. Good breaststrokers moving up on the field, bunching it together with 50 yards of freestyle to go. Very good split, breaststroke split there by Nicholas Holler, the sophomore from Anderson. He's trying to chase down our heat leader, which is Matthew Kelleher, the top of the pool from Centerville. Coming under the flags here.
Looks like we have a race to get their hand on the wall first. Looks like in the lane 4, looks like it is going to be Nicholas Holler.
Nicholas Holler got second. He took a breath inside the flags. His coach is going to beat him with the heat sheet after that.
It's like Matthew Kelleher from start to finish in lane 1 with a 2:01.65.
Very good swim. Big drops for all those swimmers on our first heat of the boys 200 IM. Heat 2 of the boys 200 IM. Off the blocks in lane 1, Liam Griebert. Lane 2, Jackson Tinsley. Lane 3, Paxton Kelly. Lane 4, Sam McCarthy. And lane 5, Jacob Brooks, his teammate from Centerville. Lane 7, Keith Enrico. Lane 8, Matthew Helm. And in lane 7, Matthew Helm. And in lane 8, the bottom of the pool, Mike McDonald.
And out to the early lead, Sam McCarthy from Centerville, leading all the athletes after the butterfly leg.
Strong backstroke leg by our early leader, Sam McCarthy. Good dolphin kick.
And looks like down there in lane 8, coming with a strong first half, Mike McDonald from Mason, giving a little pressure, but it's still Sam McCarthy turning at the 100 with a 54.18. Solid 29.0 backstroke split from him.
Every year we will see some swimmers that qualify for the state meet out of this second heat. They really have to put up a good time, but we see it every year. Maybe this will be Mr. McCarthy's time. He's got a pretty good lead over the second heat here. Very good time at the 150. If he has a strong freestyle leg here.
He really will have a shot to get. It took about a 156.97, was 24th place to qualify for state last year. So if he can get it home, he might have a real fighting chance to get up to Canton next week.
And that is the only goal here, is to qualify for the state championship. We're trying to beat 156.97. He is going to do it with a time of 156.51. Excellent swim by the freshman from Centerville. A little fist pump there. Our second of 4 heats. Look at that, 156.51 for our heat winner, Sam McCarthy.
Substantial drop from his sectional time of 2:02. Incredibly good drop for Sam. Nice swim.
Great swim.
Real
He's going to
nice
have
swim.
to wait until tonight to find out if his efforts have qualified him for next week. But that was a fantastic swim and a huge drop, as Mike said.
And that leads us to heat 3. And in lane 1, Jimmy Koleski, Kings. Lane 2, Miles Kenner, Walnut Hills. Lane 3, James Ray, St. Xavier. Lane 4, Nathaniel Lowry, Centerville. Lane 5, Owen Measle, Tecumseh. Lane 6, Mitchell Ellis, Fairfield. Lane 7, Zach Breaker, Springboro. Lane 8, Alex Lucerno, Lakota East.
At the halfway point up at the top of our pool, we've got a very tight race. Seen a lot of good Centerville swims thus far at this meet, and our lane 4 heat leader, Nathaniel Lowry, is continuing that. Very good kick out there by James Ray in lane 3 from St. Xavier.
And turning at the 100. It's like up in lane 1. Jimmy Koleski is out to the early lead after the backstroke.
Very good looking breaststroke there by the swimmer from Centerville, Nathaniel Lowry. He's going to take a half body length lead coming in here in the last length of breaststroke. Moving up as well over there in lane 7, Zach Backer. This is a great swim by Nathaniel Lowry. Very strong breaststroke split there. And he doesn't look like he's slowing down on the freestyle leg. Nathaniel Lowry trying to hold off lane 7, Zach Backer, coming in here under the flags.
And touching first, Nathaniel Lowry from Centerville with a 154.16. Zachary Backer.
Again, a time last year to qualify, 156.97. We've got a lot of swimmers under that mark from last year. That was a great swim. To show you how good that was, had he done that last week at the sectional meet, he would have been seated first for tonight's event. All right, as the Heat 3 swimmers climb out of the pool, that brings us to our 4th and final heat of the boys 200 IM. Up there in lane 1, we see Chandler Vandeford, a junior from Springfield. And lane number 2, a freshman from St. Xavier, Nicholas Pereira. His teammate in lane 3, Mitchell Fry, he's a senior from St. Xavier. Our top seed in lane 4, Tommy Cope, a junior from Butler. In lane 5, our 3rd St. Xavier Aqua Bomber, Nate Jonas. Lane number 6, Mark Andrew, a senior from Middletown. Over there in lane 7, Lakota East, Matthew McDonald, he's a senior. And in lane number 8, a swimmer to watch out for here, a junior from Moeller, Cooper Hodge.
Yes, Cooper was actually our district champion last year with a 149.83 and was second in the state meet. So be very, very interesting to watch lane 8, see what he can produce in there in the outside lane. Probably get some clean water. See what we can put up. And also, Mark Andrew in lane 6 was actually third in the state meet in this event. So we have a very strong heat here.
All right, great kickouts there by Tommy Cope. He's being very aggressive this butterfly leg. Out in 23-2. That's pretty strong. It's going to be a race, I would think. We have excellent kick out again in lanes 4, 6, and 8. Cooper Hodge is a good breaststroker. He's going to have a lot of room to make up here because our heat leader, Tommy Cope, is getting after it.
Touching it a 50-35 with a 27-1 backstroke split. Tommy Cope in lane 4 out to a really good lead. I'm curious to see if some of the breaststrokers in this field will be able to make some ground and try to...
Oh, that was one of the longest turns in the history of swimming, but he's still leading the event. Tommy Cope looking strong on breaststroke, coming in here, 50 yards to go. Lane 8, Cooper Hodge is not making up ground. We have a district record that is on alert. District record is 1:49.66,
which might be enjoying its last few moments of sunshine here.
I would say that if Mr. Cope can finish without drowning, we're going to see a new district record. He is coming under the flags, and it is
very impressive swim from Tommy Cope. 1:49.93. 1:47.93 from Tommy Cope. Wow. The junior from Butler, Tommy Cope, saying a new district record.
He went out strong, and our defending champion there in lane 8 could not even come close to his strength. The dolphin kick that he had on the butterfly and the backstroke really won that race, and he came home strong. That is a phenomenal swim. He is, as you look at that board, he is just 0.3 of a second away from the state record. And Mike, as you know, there's nothing more exciting than setting a state record in Canton, Ohio, and I'm sure that's going to be his next goal. But that was a phenomenal swim. Absolutely phenomenal. Congratulations, our first meet record of the district championships. Now let's go to the awards.
The awards for the 200 individual medley will be presented by Greg Bergman for Vandalia Butler. In 8th place, a senior from Centerville, Nathaniel Lowry. In 7th place, a freshman from St. Xavier, Nicholas Pereira. In 6th place, a senior from Lakota East, Matt McDonald. In 5th place, a senior from St. Xavier, Mitchell Frey. In 4th place, a junior from St. Xavier, Nate Jonas. In 3rd place, a senior from Middletown, Mark Andrew. In 2nd place, a junior from Mola, Cooper Hodge. And in 1st place, your new district record holder, going faster than the state winning time last year, a junior from Butler. A round of applause to Tommy Cope. Great swim.
All right, and there are our top 8 finishers in the boys 200 IM, led by Tommy Cope with our first district record of the meet in an astonishing 1:47.93. Stepping down, and you see in the forefront the swimmers that are getting ready for our next event. The the splash and dash, the boys' 50-yard freestyle.
And the district meet record in this event was set by Joe Hudipole, set back in 1992 at a 20.63. Last year, the 24th time that made the state meet was a 21.69. And looking forward to some pretty good sprinting here.
You'll see some big drops in the 53.
And in lane 1, Joseph Pullman, Beaver Creek. 2, Cole Dillinger, Turpin. 3, Joe Warner, Fairmont. Lane 4, Patrick Johnson, Anderson. 5, Austin Vickery, Oak Hills. 6, Matthew Schultz, Sycamore. Zach Brookout, Butler. Sam Red, LaSalle.
Lane 3, it's going to be Joe Werner leading our first heat and the event with a 22.52. That is almost a second faster than what he went last week at the sectional meet. Very good drop. I think that's going to be indicative of what we see the rest of the way from our 50 freestylers. There's always a good drop in between the sectionals and districts in this event. Again, last year, it took a 21.69 to qualify. Here in our second heat, lane 1 at the top of your screen, Eamon Bell. 2, Corey Shanahan. 3, Isaac Goldstein. 4, Ethan Stock. 5, Sebastian Fabic. 6, Justin Chapman. 7, Ben Thiss. And in lane 8, Preston Bailey.
Looks like we have a pretty tight heat here. And heading into the flags, getting their hand on the wall first is Isaac Goldstein.
Second time in a row, lane 3 has won the heat.
Senior from Sycamore with a 22.02.
Again, dropping almost a second from his time last week. He's currently the leader. Looking at those times, again, 21.69 is what it took last year to qualify for the state meet. Not quite there, but still good swims for those individuals. See the officials getting ready to call up the third heat in the boys 50 freestyle.
In Heat 3, Lane 1, Alec Wilkham, Cole Rain, Eric Lane, Beaver Creek. 3, Robert Stogg, Dakota West. Lane 4, Will McCullough, Moeller. 5, Riley Hinckley, Princeton. 5, Liam Moran, St. Xavier. Brad Barron, Lakota East. Lane 8, Michael Dertring, St. Xavier.
Tight heat, lane 5, Riley Winkley, 21.98. First time we've seen the time under the 22-second mark. Will McCullough right there, 2 100s back. Very tight field. Again, last year it took a time of 21.69 to qualify for the state meet. So none of those swims are quite there. But I imagine that we'll see quite a few of those here in our final heat. Again, the top 2 swimmers automatically qualify. In our last heat up there at the top, a freshman from Moeller, Justin Davidson. Pretty odd to see a freshman in such a power event here. Lane 2, a senior from Lakota West, Benjamin Palawitz. Lane number 3, Joe Burnow, a senior from St. Xavier. Lane number 4, Jack German. He's a senior from Little Miami and our top seed. Lane 5, Zach Apple, a senior from Edgewood. Lane number 6, we've got another freshman here, Justin Grinder. Lane 7, Peter He. And in lane 8, Mapoki Malawande, a senior from Mason.
And Zach Apple is our defending champion in this event, so we'll be curious to see if he can defend his championship.
He's in lane 5. First to the wall, lane 4, Jack German. Great turn there by Joe Burnow, the St. Xavier swimmer.
Coming under the flag, looks like Jack German touching first with a 20.98.
Great swim. Again, 21.69 qualified for the state meet. We've got 4 swims under that. You can see the excitement on Mr. German. He was at 21.63 last week, dropped just over 0.6 of a second. And he looks pretty pumped up about it, representing Little Miami.
And he should. He was 3rd in the districts last year. So after that, after his performance last year, coming back this year as a senior to win districts is very exciting. It'll put him in a very good position going up to the state meet next week.
Congratulations to him. Now we're on to awards.
The awards in the boys 50-yard freestyle being presented by Bernie Dickman from Kings. In 8th place, a junior from Princeton, Riley Hinkley. In 7th place, a senior from Mason, Mapoki Mawalupendi. In 6th place, a freshman from Xavier, Justin Grenda. In 5th place, a senior from Lakota West, Benjamin Paluka Witz. In 4th place, a senior from Mason, Peter He.
Tell you what, I don't know that that's an option.
In 3rd place, a senior from Xavier, Joe Burno. In 2nd place, a senior from Edgewood, Zach Apple. And in 1st place, your champion, a senior from Little Miami with a 2098, Jack German.
I told the kid I want to give him the chance to break 23, or break 22, or 21. He's tapered, and that's why if they'll swim it, if your kid will do it, I love it if they do it. So I need to talk to my kid.
And we're now going to move into the 100 butterfly, and we'll be having a break after the 100 butterfly.
All right, there are the boys' top finishers in the 50 freestyle. Our next event is the boys' 100-yard butterfly. Before we get to that, we have a very special guest here, winner of the 200-yard freestyle, defending district champion, Grant House.
Grant, hello, welcome. You defending district champion, your second time winning the event. You pretty happy with your swim?
Yeah, I'm kind of hoping for a little bit more, but it's all right for right now. So got another week.
Yeah, I think it was possibly a little bit slower than you were last year at this time. You comfortable with that, with how your training's going?
Yeah, last year I kind of was surprised at how I did. This year I kind of know where I'm at. Know I need probably another week or so, and up at state it'll be there.
Yeah, and, just being a freshman last year, now you have the year of experience and everything else. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
What are you looking forward to next week? What are the goals?
Well, I've got some pretty high goals for myself in the 200 and the 100. 200, I'm actually going to be shooting for not just the state record, but also the national high school record. So, got a lot of expectations of myself in that.
That's great. What are the things that you have to work on, do you think, from this meet going into next week?
The thing I think I have to work on the most is underwaters, executing the right amount for each 50, each lap, and being able to finish on the last 50 with legs and just overall endurance.
Well, we wish you the best of luck. We appreciate you stopping by. Get some rest, and we'll see you later in the meet.
All right, thank you.
Good luck. Great swim. And in Heat 1 of 4 heats of the boys' 100-yard butterfly, we have David Abrams, junior from Butler. Lane 3, Donald Beesdale, Mason. Nick Ackerman, Fairmont. 5, Patrick Fuller from Walnut Hills. Lane 6, Cameron Roots, Kings. Lane 7, Joel Ensman, Lebanon. And lane 8, Jack Sheehan from Springfield.
Out to the early lead there in lane 4, Nick Ackerman. He was taking control of this first heat.
And here it took a 52.64 to qualify for state last year. And touching in first in lane 4 was Nick Ackerman with a 52.98. Very strong swim from Nick here in the first heat.
All right, you see the officials getting ready to call to the blocks the second heat of the boys' 100-yard butterfly. The district record in this event is almost as old as I am. It was set back in 1979 by Dave Wilson at a time of 48.50. Here in the second heat at the top of the pool, we have Sebastian Fabic, lane 2, Griffin Bachman, 3, Cooper Keener, 4, Matthew Wilson, 5, Dan Neinberg, 6, Bryce Dixon from Lebanon, lane 7, Alec Wickman, lane 8 is Joel Dennis, and in lane 9 at the bottom of the pool, Stephen Costco.
It's like Cooper Kenner at a little bit of a lead with Dan Neinberg pressing in the center and under the flags. Looks like our winner of Heat 2 is going to be Cooper Kenner. Touching first with a 53.94. Very strong swim from him. That's bringing us to Heat 3 of 4. Here are the boys 100 butterfly. Starter calling the boys to the blocks.
Okay, before we start Heat 3 here, the boys 100-yard butterfly. Or as we start it, we have a very special guest here. We've got the winner of the boys 200 IM, Tommy Cope. Tommy, congratulations.
Thank you.
District record, was that your goal going in?
I knew that I was going to be close to it, but I didn't know if I was going to actually be able to get it, so I'm just happy that I was able to.
Fly, backstroke, dolphin kicks were fantastic. Is that your goal, to take control of the race?
Yeah, my backstroke's my weakest part of it, so I just knew that I had to do a lot of underwaters to get ahead.
Going into the first turn on breaststroke, I said that may be the longest turn I've ever seen in swimming.
Yeah.
We're going to fix that next week, right?
Definitely.
You're very close to the state record. Is that the goal for next week?
It is.
That's awesome. What else do we have for the rest of the meet?
100 breasts and a 200 free relay.
Excellent.
Work those turns. We're looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Good luck, and good luck next week.
Thank you.
Good luck. Nice race. And winning Heat 3 is Jacob Waters, the sophomore from St. Xavier, with a 51.96. Very nice.
He looks happy. Gave a little thumbs up to his teammates there.
Very nice win.
He was about half a second under what it took to qualify last year for the district, or to the state championships. A little fist bump for his teammate that's in the final heat. That brings us to the fourth and final heat of the boys' 100-yard butterfly.
And in lane 1, Cameron Wallace, the junior from Springboro. Lane 2, Keith Jesse, senior, Lakota East. Lane 3, Mac Dool, sophomore, Turpin. Lane 4, Luke Solbeski, sophomore, St. Xavier. Lane 5, Mark Hancher, senior, Sycamore. Lane 6, Jacob Peliquin, junior, Moeller. Lane 7, Gordon Wheeler, sophomore, St. Xavier. Lane 8, Chris Carin, junior, Centerville. Lane 9, Grant Carr, senior from St. Xavier.
Again, the district record, a very fast 48.5 set back in 1979. A little bit of a long turn there for our top seed in lane 4, Luke Soboleski. Pretty tightly bunched here. Looks like the 50-yard mark. It's going to be lane 6, Jacob Poliquin, with just a few 100ths lead over Luke Soboleski. Good turn there for Jacob Poliquin. 25 yards to go. It's going to be Poliquin commanding last 50 in a very fast 49.05. Jacob Poliquin, 49.05. Just just over half a second off the district record that seems to last forever. He's only a junior. He may have a chance to get that next year, but most importantly, he's excited about the swim, looking forward to trying to compete for a state championship next week. All right, that concludes the 100-yard butterfly. We'll take you to the awards for that event.
The awards for the 100-yard butterfly will be presented by Renee Contino from Turpin. In 8th place, a junior from Centerville, Austin Sproul. In 7th place, a sophomore from St. Xavier, Jacob Waters. In 6th place, a senior from Lakota East, Keith Jesse. In 5th place, a sophomore from St. Xavier, Gordon Wheeler. In 4th place, another sophomore from St. Xavier, Luke Sobolewski. In 3rd place, breaking 50 seconds, a junior from Centerville, Quest Quarren. In 2nd place, a senior from Sycamore, Mark Hancher. And in 1st place, with a 49.05 from Mola, a junior, Jacob Peliquin. Congratulations.
Stepping onto the blocks is our next event, the boys 100-yard freestyle, our first heat.
And in lane 1, Daniel Etchler, senior from Mason. 2, Joel Warner, Fairmont. Lane 3, Enrichio, Lakota East. Lane 4, Nate Watkins, Troy. 5, Austin Vickery, Oak Hills. Lane 6, Ethan Stock, LaSalle. 7, Ethan Hosford, Fairmont. Ben Hardzenia, Springboro.
Ethan Hosford in lane 2, out the fastest. He's got the lead here, heat 1 of 4.
And last year, to make the state meet, it took a 47.22. It's around the time the boys will all be shooting forward to try to get the swim for next week.
Ethan Hosford is going to take our first heat in a time of 49.12, just ahead of Joe Warner over there in lane number 6. Good swims for those young men. All of them have dropped time, except there just for one, but pretty good drops for our first heat. A lot of freshmen and sophomores in that event. That brings us to heat number 2 of the boys 200-yard freestyle, or excuse me, 100-yard freestyle. And in heat number 2, at the top of your screen, Chase Vandelberg. In lane 1, lane 2, Joseph Pullman, following in the long line of Pullmans that will come out of Beaver Creek. Lane 3, Alex Matthews. 4, Matthew Wilson. 5, Cole Dalinger. Lane 6, Austin Pierce. Lane 7, Max Harezda. And in lane 8, Nate Watkins.
And turning first is Alex Matthews, 23:39. To a pretty good start.
Followed closely by Austin Pierce in lane 6 as they come into the 75 wall, but it is still Alex Matthews, the senior from Springboro.
And again, around the target time they're shooting for is about 47.22 is what they took to make state last year. And touching first, Alex Matthews from Springboro, 48.45.
A little bit off the time it took last year, but a significant drop, over 2 seconds. He looks pretty excited about it, as he should be.
And in Heat 3 of 4, the boys 100 freestyle, Eamon Bell, junior from Sycamore, Justin Davidson, Moeller. Lane 3, Will McCullough, Moeller. Lane 4, Moki Makapundi, senior from Mason. Isaac Goldstein, senior from Sycamore. 6, John Heidelman, Sycamore. Lane 7, Eric Lanier, Beaver Creek. In lane 8, Brad Barron, Lakota East.
Okay, while we watch the third heat here,
we are joined poolside by the champion in the 100 butterfly, Jacob Peliquin.
Jacob, congratulations on the win. How did that feel?
It felt really good. I thought I had a pretty good swim all around. I felt it was a little choppy at first, and then I got it together. And then I used my walls to my advantage, definitely.
You got really close to a district record that's lasted since 1979, and we keep talking about that. Was that a goal that you had coming in?
That was definitely a goal. I was kind of mad that I didn't go 48, but still a really good time. But I was definitely going for that.
What are you looking to do next week?
I'm definitely looking to drop quite a bit more time because I'm hoping the finals, the atmosphere at state is just amazing, and I'm thinking that it's going to be really nice.
Well, congratulations on the win. Look in that camera, say hi to your family. And good luck the rest of the meet.
Thank you.
And this brings us to the fourth and final heat of the boys 100 freestyle. In lane 1, Mitchell Fry, St. Xavier. Lane 2, Dylan Curtis, Centerville. Lane 3, Mark Hancher, Sycamore. Lane 4, defending district and state champion, Grant House, St. Xavier. 5, Zach Apple, Edgewood. 6, Charles Lisbon, St. Xavier. 7, Jack German, Little Miami. And Nicholas Pereira, freshman, St. Xavier in lane 8. And the district record in this event is 44.04, set by Joe Hudapole back in 1991. And Grant House, the defending district champion, is in this event in lane 4.
In an earlier interview, Grant House said his goal next week is to set state and national records. He's going to need to be somewhere in the 44-second range, I think, to set himself up for that. He's turning first, just a hair ahead of Mark Hincher, above him in lane 3.
Looking really easy going into that third turn. Really in control of the swim.
Grant House coming under the flags, winner of our 200 freestyle race. He's going to win the 100 free in a time of 45.50. Again, last year it took 47.22 to qualify for the state meet. We had 6 swims that were under that time, very solid swims that should qualify. Grant House, our winner there, doesn't look particularly excited, but a win is a win, and the goal for this meet is to make it to the state championships, where he has much higher goals for himself and his team. So congratulations to him, our first double winner of the meet, and we will take you to the awards for the boys 100-yard freestyle.
As the athletes take the stand, the awards are going to be presented by Ben Johnson from Edgewood. In 8th place, a sophomore from St. Xavier, Charles Lieberson. In 7th place, a freshman from St. Xavier, Nicholas Pereira. In 6th place, a senior from Little Miami, Jack German. In 5th place, a senior from St. Xavier, Mitchell Frey. In 4th place, a senior from Sycamore, Mark Hancher. 2nd equal, a senior from Trenton, Zach Apple, and a junior from Centerville, Dylan Curtis.
He was as excited as I was excited.
And in 1st place, your defending champion and your current champion, a sophomore from St. Xavier, 45.5, Grant House.
All right, we are back. The next event on the docket is the boys 500-yard freestyle. We've got 4 heats. There will be 2 automatic qualifiers again to qualify for the state meet last year. Mike took 4:44.95. As we go through this, we've got some celebrity interviews lined up, and some of the talented deans of swimming in the greater Cincinnati area. And they'll be giving us some insights to this district meet and life and sports in general. You see the officials getting ready to call to the blocks our first heat. See them stretching. We're getting to the point in the program where these swimmers are starting to swim their second events, and some of them have swum some relays. This may be their third event. So it's very important for them to stay hydrated, stay loose. You see them stretching there. All right, our first heat up on the blocks of the boys 500 freestyle. Okay, and our first heat out to the early lead there in lane number 6 is Cole Trotta. Very important to set a good pace early in the 500 free without taking it out too quickly. An underwater shot, good streamline. This is the longest event on the schedule. This is 20 lengths of the pool, 500 yards freestyle. Got a good race going in the middle of the pool, and that's what you want to see. You want to see racing. Joe Dutton out to our early lead. Excuse me, that's Alex Borchers there in the middle. All right, 150 yards down as they come in here, a little double breath. Joe Dutton, the freshman from Troy. He was 5:14 at the sectional meet last week. He is on pace to significantly drop that effort. Coming in at the 200-yard mark, it is Joe Dutton. We'll take a brief break from this race and welcome in, not the dean, but one of the deans of Cincinnati Swimming, Michael Leonard, coach of Powell Crosley YMCA and about 6 other high schools as an assistant coach. You coach a lot of different kids. Mike, how are you?
I'm great. Thanks a lot, Mr. Hubble.
Nice to have you, Mike. We're back here at Districts again at the beautiful Corwin M. Nixon Natatorium. What are your thoughts so far this district meet?
It's a little different this year. We're used to be kind of rocking on a Friday night, and it's a little different atmosphere, I think, on deck on a Sunday morning and afternoon. But I think the top kids are rocking like they always do. But I do kind of sense a little lull in the air this year.
And we talked earlier, there was a decision to postpone the meet one day because of Mother Nature. They didn't get that information out till this morning. You know why they waited so long?
I think they were the usual skeptical Cincinnatians, wait a little. They call for it and it never comes. I don't think they want to get caught with no calling it, but no snow coming. But I think the more is the change of the whole format. I guess the state mandated that all the districts have to swim together. The rest of the state's always done it this way. So the guys D1 boys got moved from Friday night to the second day 2 in the early session, and that way the times all come out at the same time, so you can get on the internet and figure out who qualified, not have to wait so long.
And that's the other thing is we talked a little bit about how we have to wait until all the district results come in. When do you think that will be finalized?
Well, I'm not sure. All the commotion yesterday, getting things rescheduled. I don't know if the rest of the state swam yesterday or not. In theory, they should all be done, so we're just waiting for us. But I did see on the weather map the snow was north of here also. So if maybe they all went today and they might be running right now. But all weekend, everyone's been running at the same time. So these results should start coming in.
Mike, if you don't mind, maybe just a few quick questions about Cincinnati sports. If you could just give some brief answers.
I want to just say that every year this moment is what I look forward to the most.
Mike Leonard, Brian Price, or Dusty Baker?
Neither. How about Davey Johnson?
Your good friend Benedict Cronin or Bob Huggins?
Oh, Bob Huggins.
Any chance Bob Huggins comes back?
I think Coach Cronin will be back. He's going to be healthy. He'll be back next year, and I look forward to that too.
Will the University of Cincinnati basketball team be able to score buckets, any baskets, and score over 50 points at any postseason game?
Maybe if someone gets hot, that we don't know, someone has a career day, throws in maybe 4 or 5 threes from out of nowhere.
If you could trade Mike Brown for any other front office manager in sports, would you do so?
I can't believe you're asking me this. You know my opinion on this. God bless Mike Brown and the family, general managers of the year every year.
Thank goodness you're a swim coach but not an analyst in anything else.
What about Charlie Strong, Marty Boy? What can we expect out of him in year 2?
He took over a big pile of mess. We're going to give him 2 more years, and the University of Texas football program will be back on top where they belong.
How about your good friend Urban Meyer?
Suburban Urban did
Yes.
it. He won. What can you say? What can you say?
Well,
Suburban Urban.
Yes. We got another heat.
We got
Do we
heat.
have to talk swimming?
We're going to get the heat, the next heat. This will be heat number 2.
Lane 6, Michael Sparks.
All right, in the second heat of 4, we have an early lead out there in lane number 8. We are still joined by J. Michael Leonard Jr. Mike Leonard, as we go into next week's state championships, what are your predictions for team championships, boys and girls, Division I?
St. X.
Easy.
Easy.
Girls?
St. Ursula.
Easy.
A little tighter. They're
And-
pretty good. I mean, we'll see tonight. I think they're loaded.
And then you're more familiar with the Division II scene. What do you think about Division II, boys and girls?
Seven Hills, and a first time ever for them. I think they've got it all together this year. They've got a perfect storm to win it this year. And it's great. It'll be exciting. Exciting to see a new team. Exciting to see new people. It'll be great. I'm sure University will be right there too. I think it'll be close between Seven Hills and University. I don't think that Oakwood has quite the same group they've had in years past. So I think, and Wyoming High School will be competing up there too. But I think Seven Hills is the favorite.
Now,
And Marymount, girls, Gates Milwaukee, but Marymount. That'll be a great race to watch. Those two teams battle out.
Good to see Cincinnati continuing the strong tradition.
You know, suddenly this year, it's really gotten very competitive again. I know we've had the tradition of that. It got away from us for a little bit. But I think this year you're going to see those Cincinnati teams really perform well.
Back to this meet, I have one question for you. We saw a good 100 butterfly and had a chance to speak to Jacob Pelican. Dave Wilson, were you here when Dave Wilson set his district record in 1979?
So I was a freshman. Yes, I was. As a spectator, but also as a competitor that meet. It was one division, and I was swimming a 50 and 100 free those days. But I did see Dave Wilson.
If you had swam the 100 butterfly, would he have just touched you out?
Yeah, just barely. He would have been a little faster.
Just a little?
If I couldn't win it, I'd make you set a real good record.
Last question, Mr. Leonard. Cincinnati Reds pitchers and catchers have reported over-under wins if gambling was legal in the United States. Where do you peg the Cincinnati Reds? Your Cincinnati Reds.
Thank you, Marty. That's a tough question. There's so many ifs. Let's go 78 wins. I hope. I hope.
Can you name the starting rotation on a bet?
No. I can give you 4. Fifth will be someone that...
Some Cuban guy.
I don't know if he's a favorite to do that. Some guy I can't even say. They traded Latos for in Miami might be the guy. I can't even say his last name. Who?
Never heard of him.
Never heard of him.
Thank you, Mr. Leonard, for stopping by.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Hubble, Mr. Andrews. It's been quite an honor, as always.
Say hi to Mom and
Randall Kirk.
All right, we are back to the boys 500 free. We've got 3 lengths to go. Our heat leader in lane number 6, Michael Sparks from Centerville with the yellow dyed hair. Coming into what we used to call the gun lap. Now it is the bell lap. Would that be Mrs. Giebord back there?
That would be. That would be.
She has been a long-time official. We have a lot of great officials that have been doing this for many, many years. Again, last year, it took a time of 4:44.9 to qualify. I don't think our heat winner, Michael Sparks, is going to make it there, but he is going to have a fantastic swim.
Touching first in a 4:51.97. And in second is Donald Bleasdale, touching in a 4:53.22.
Mr. Sparks, our heat winner, dropped over 11 seconds from his time at the districts to win heat number 2. Get somebody up.
And that brings us to our third heat of 4. And in lane 1, this third heat, Christopher Seeger, junior from Sycamore. 2, Liam Griebert, senior from Turpin. 3, Nick Ackerman, sophomore, Fairmont. 4, Austin Theobald, sophomore from Moeller. 5, Patrick Bukovich, sophomore from St. Xavier. 6, Jonathan Erickson, junior from Turpin. 7, Kevin George, senior from Moeller. 8, Jacob Brooks, junior from Centerville. And rounding out the field in lane 9, Cameron Rutz, freshman from Kings.
All right, this is the third heat of 4 out to the early lead. Over there in lane number 7 is Kevin George coming in at the 100-yard mark. And we're going to take a brief break from this heat and have a chance to talk to a very special guest dressed in purple. Mr. Keating, how are you?
Good, Marty. How you doing?
We're doing great. Thanks for stopping by.
Good to see you, Michael.
Good to see you, Bill.
How are things going with Elder?
You know, we're a blue-collar team in a white-collar sport. We got a couple of relays here today and a couple of individuals, and we're swimming well. We can only afford 4 days of water time, so when you figure we work out 4 times for an hour to an hour and a half, and schools like St. X probably work out 10 or 11 times a week, it's really tough to compete. And none of our kids swim year-round, but they're great kids, work hard. We had a kid a couple of years ago who came out and learned how to swim as a junior in high school, swam his junior year and senior year, went over to UC as a student, and during the winter, he was walking a dog in his neighborhood, saw two kids fall through the ice over in the pond in Delhi, saved both of them. So our line is elder swimmers save lives. St. X swimmers win state championship, and elder swimmers save lives.
In perspective, that's a good thing.
That's a good thing.
We were talking earlier about the 100 butterfly, and we had a great swim close to the district record. Were you here when that district record was set by Dave Wilson back in 1979?
The record was set at St. X High School because the districts were at St. X back then. I was there. Unbelievable performance. We went to the state championship, and everybody thought Wilson would break the state record in 100 fly at the state. He did not. And then everybody was sitting on their hands for the 100 back, and Dave Wilson breaks the national record in 100 backstroke. Unbelievable swimmer. The trivia about Dave was there's a swimmer by the name of Butterfly, Madam Butterfly. She was from Louisville, Kentucky. Drawing a blank on her name.
Mary Maher.
Mary T. Maher. She came to swim for the Marlins one summer and then went on to swim for Cal where Dave was because she had a crush on Dave Wilson. I heard that from the Cal coach.
Oh, wow.
So, now, can you tell me where the districts were held prior to having them at St. X High School?
Prior to, because I remember that's where Marty and I used to race the districts, was the Keating Territory. But,
the Ohio River.
That's right. The Ohio River in 1972. Yeah. They used to be at the University of Cincinnati. And then they moved them over. And they didn't have sectionals back then. It was just districts and then state meet, no sectionals. Sectionals didn't start in the early 70s.
Interesting that for a period of time the district record was faster than the state record, than the boys' 100-yard butterfly.
Right.
Because that was the national, I think that was the fastest. I don't know if he set the national record of districts that year.
He set national records at the district meet, and he was member of the 1980 Olympic team also. There's a kid by the name of Bobby Walters who was the third fastest butterfly in the city, third fastest butterfly in the state, and the fourth fastest butterflyer in the country. It's because of O'Shawney and Wilson who were ahead of him. And you think of the guys who were that great that never got a chance to break the national record. The fastest high school senior back in 79, I think it was a guy named Alan Burliant.
While talking to Bill Keating,
Kevin George
has just beaten the district record out of Heat 3 in the boys 500 freestyle, held by Thunder Dan Ketchum. 2004 Olympic gold medalist who swam at Sycamore High School. What a swim. You don't see that very often in the final heat, let alone in the third heat. Kevin George, senior out of Moeller, dropping 21 seconds from his sectional time to establish a new district record. Mike. Bill Keating, let's go to you. Give me your thoughts. Mike isn't talking.
I am speechless.
My sophomore, junior, and senior year, we had a swimmer by the name of Paul Hove who broke the 200 and 400 record. Back then it was a 400 free state record in both events every year. In his senior year, we had a guy named Tom Olson who was a really, really talented swimmer, but swam behind Hove. So in the prelims, the coach told Paul Hove to slow it down, just qualify, let Olson get the state record. So in prelims, Tom Olson, who was the second fastest swimmer, broke the state record in 200 free by a couple of seconds. Then Paul Hove came back that night and broke it by a couple more.
Sharing the wealth.
But going back to David Wilson, would you want to announce the heat first?
We can do that.
All right, and this brings us to Heat 4. What an incredible swim by Kevin George, setting the district record in the previous heat. But this Heat 4 of the boys 500 freestyle: Christian Imbus, sophomore, St. Xavier; Mark Andrew, Middletown; 3, Matt Slabe, St. Xavier; 4, Justin Hove, senior from Mason; 5, Joshua McDonald, sophomore, Lakota East; 6, Joel Thatcher, Mason; 7, Hatzler Carroll, junior from Anderson; Hank Seifert, Xenia; and lane 9, Nate Jonas, junior from St. Xavier.
And let's be clear here. The district record that was set in the heat prior, that could be short-lived. It could last all of about 5 minutes and 45 seconds because our top seed in this case, or in this event, Joshua McDonald, was only 2/10 off of the old district record last week.
And Joshua McDonald was second in the district and the state meet last year. So it will be very interesting to see how quickly these boys swim this event.
It is, and we still have Bill Keating here. Bill, just a couple of other things. We spoke to Mike Leonard. He said St. Xavier, odds-on favorite to win the state championship this year by far. He thinks the girls, it's from St. Ursula, have a great chance. Do you share that?
I do. Both of them are very talented kids, and most of them are younger classmen, so it should be interesting. But let me finish one Dave Wilson story, and I'll get off the air with you. There's a guy named Alan Berliant who is a senior, and Alan Berliant lost the state championship by 1/100th of a second. He was the fastest high school swimmer in the country. Dave Wilson was a junior. Dave Wilson got the national record. Berliant was under it, but lost by 1/100th of a second, didn't get the record. And Berliant remembers a few years later, he was sitting here watching Wilson qualify for the Olympics, realizing how close he was. And you think, Mike, you swam backstroke, you know how close that 1/100th of a second was,
yeah.
but two kids out of the same district who one both on a national record, one got all the honors and the other one didn't. So you never know. You're right, this record may go down again in this heat.
Yeah,
so.
They are definitely on pace out at 1:44.9.
Right.
We normally tell the folks who we're interviewing to turn around and look at the camera. We made an exception for you, Bill.
They tell me I have a great radio face. I have a great radio face. But the record they still wish would have been set that wasn't would have been the high school 200 medley record, but they would have had the team of Andrews, Hubble, Wales, and Hudipole.
Yes.
So we'll never know.
The relay that could have been. The relay that could have been.
We'll never know. We've got a great race.
I'll let you get back to it. Thank you.
Thanks, Bill, for stopping
Thanks
by.
a lot for stopping by.
We've got phenomenal race going here. Both of these young men in lane 4 and 5, Justin Hogue, Joshua McDonald, are under the pace established last heat that set a new district record. And not just by a little bit. Coming in, we've got a very good battle here between these two young men. 7/100ths of a second separating them. Both of them picked up the pace a little bit on their times for that 50. They're coming into the 400-yard mark. That district record that was set 5 minutes ago and counting right now isn't just going to be beaten. It is going to be taken down substantially. These two men are 6/100ths of a second apart. Our previous heat winner broke a 17-year-old district record by 0.8 of a second, which is pretty good.
Which is really good, because Dan Ketchum, Olympian, gold medalist.
Thunder Dan Ketchum was an all-timer.
And to be sitting here in a matter of 2 heats, watching 3 athletes get under that time.
This record is going to be broken by 4 seconds. We're going to have 3 people under an existing district record, which is fantastic. Joshua McDonald coming under the flags. He's going to go 4:25.57. Justin Hogue, our second place finisher, is going to be the second fastest person ever in our district, but only one of the top 3 not to hold the district record. Just an absolutely phenomenal swim, and best yet, they've got another week. That was a great race by those two young men. Fantastic race, and they're going to get to tee it up again next week. What an event. Let's go see the awards.
For a Presenting the awards for the 500 freestyle, Dennis Beck from Lakota. In 8th place, from St. Xavier, a junior, Matt Slaby. In 7th place, a junior from Turpin, Jonathan Erickson. In 6th place, a sophomore from Xavier, Christian Imbus. In 5th place, from Mason, a junior, Joel Thatcher. In 4th place, a junior from Anderson, Hasler Carroll. In 3rd place, under the old meet record, a senior from Mola, Kevin George. In 2nd place, under the old meet record, a senior from Mason, Justin Hove. And in 1st place, your district champion and new meet record holder, a sophomore from Lakota East, Joshua McDonald. 4:20.57. Give him a round of applause.
All right, there are the top 8 finishers in the boys 500 free, one of the fastest events I've seen at any district meet at any particular event, Mike. We had 5 guys under 4:30, which is absolutely phenomenal. That brings us to our next event, which will be moving very quickly. It is the boys 200-yard freestyle relay. We have 3 heats. You see the first heat gathering behind the blocks. It'll be 4 swimmers swimming 50 yards of freestyle.
The district meet record in this event is 1:24.33, set by Cincinnati St. Xavier back in 2012. The time it took to qualify for 24th to make the state meet last year was a 1:29.26.
You're going to see different strategies by different teams. They can put the fastest person first or the fastest person last, so you're going to see some lead changes.
And in heat 1 of 3 in the boys 200 free relay, we have Sydney, 2, Kettering Fairmont, 3, Xenia, 4, Clayton Northmont, 5, Troy, 6, Kings Mills, 7, Little Miami, and in lane 8, team from Loveland.
Little Miami out to the very quick early lead, 21-1, just 2/10 of a second off what it took to win the 50-yard freestyle earlier in the meet. So that's a very fast split.
Very good lead by Jack German, the senior from Little Miami, getting their team out to a little bit of lead to get some clear water.
Team from Kings trying to catch the team from Little Miami, neighboring high schools, likely coached by the same person and Brad Isham at Countryside YMCA. We've got a great battle here in lanes 7 and 6 with Kings moving up there at the top of the screen is the team from Fairmont.
Also, the team up in lane 2, Fairmont, had a very nice relay exchange.
Strong swim by the anchor swimmer from Fairmont. 25 yards to go. Unlikely that any of these teams are going to qualify for the meet, but still having good swims. They're really bunching up here under the flags. Tight finish. It is going to be Fairmont. Time of 1:34.79. That was a significant drop. They dropped almost 3 seconds from their time last week at sectionals. Again, as you look at the board, last year it took 1:29.26 to qualify for the state meet. But good swims nonetheless. Again, we have 3 heats of the boys' 200-yard freestyle relay. This is heat 2 being called to the blocks. In lane 1, the team from Turpin. 2, the team from Walnut Hills, Go Big Nuts. Lane 3, LaSalle. Lane 4, Lakota East. Lane 5, the team from Springboro. In lane 6, Anderson. Lane 7, Coleraine. And in lane number 8, the team from Beaver Creek.
And coming into the first swimmer relay exchange, team from Coleraine. In lane 7, Joel Dennis out in the 22.73. Good way to get his team out in the early lead.
Strong second leg by the swimmer from LaSalle in lane 3 at the top of your pool. They're going to be the leaders at the halfway point. Very quick split.
22.61 by Sam Red from LaSalle, getting his team the early lead.
All these teams a little bit behind the pace as to what it's going to take to qualify for the state meet. They'll need to have a good last 100, last 2 legs.
Looks like the Springboro team in lane 5, pulling out to a slight advantage with a very good relay exchange from Cincinnati LaSalle.
Good battle here between Springboro and LaSalle. Springboro swimmers surging forward here. It looks like they're going to take heat 2 and 3. The boys
Senior Justin Chapman touching the wall for his Springboro team first in a 1:30.41.
Very good swim, significant drop for the Springboro team. Just a little bit outside of what it took to qualify for the state meet, but a good swim nonetheless. As those swimmers climb out of the pool, Mike, that takes us to the third and final heat of the boys' 200-yard freestyle relay.
And in lane 1, this final heat of the boys' 200 free relay, Butler. Lane 2, Moeller. Lane 3, Lakota West. Lane 4, St. Xavier. Lane 5, Sycamore. Lane 6, Mason. Lane 7, Centerville. And rounding out the field in lane 8, the team from Oak Hills. And for Cincinnati St. Xavier, we have Grant House, the champion in the 100 and 200 freestyle, leading off. So looking to hopefully get a pretty interesting opening relay split from him.
It'll be the first time I've seen him do a flat start 50. He's trailing lane 1, the team from Butler. 21-2 by Grant House. Butler, swimmer 21.04. That's a very strong.
Yeah, that was Tommy Cope.
Who has been nothing but hot. He just set the district record in the 200 IM. St. Xavier with a half a body length lead over the team from Butler. Moving up quickly is the team from Centerville. A good 21.3 split by their second swimmer. Good second leg by the team from St. Xavier. They are definitely on pace for the district record here at 124.33. They'll need a strong finish here, but definitely on pace. They can get a good split from their last swimmer.
If Grant Carr can bring home this relay for the Bombers, they might be looking to put up a new district record. It'll be 2 events in a row.
Just off, half a second off the district record, but a very strong split there by the anchor swimmer from St. Xavier. 124.88. That's going to set them up very well for next week at the state championships. Relays are big at that level. They look pretty excited about it. Again, they like to swim fast, but the goal is to get to the next meet, which is the state championship starting in Canton. Everybody's all smiles. Winning takes away all the pain. Congratulations to Cincinnati St. Xavier, and we are on to the awards.
In 8th place from Springboro, Vinnie Wolfram, Alex Matthews, Ben Haretza, and Justin Chapman. In 7th place from Butler, Tommy Cope, Zach Bookout, Ian Barrett, and Corey Shanahan. In 6th place from Lakota West, Sean McCracken, Jackson Tinsley, Robert Skoog, and Benjamin Palukowitz. In 5th place from Sycamore, Mark Hampshire, Eamon Bell, Ben Teese, and Isaac Goldstein. In 4th place from Mola, Will McCulloch, Dan Nimberg, Cooper Hodge, and Kevin George. In 3rd place from Centerville, Dylan Curtis, Chris Quarren, Nathan Lowry, and Sam McCarthy. In 2nd place from Mason, Peter He, Mapoki Mawapindi, Preston Bailey, and Justin Hove. And in 1st place, your district champions, St. Xavier, Grant House, Matt Slavey, Mitchell Fry, and Grant Carr. And we're now going to move into the reseeded boys 100-yard backstroke.
All right, there are our top 8 finishers of the boys 200-yard freestyle with the blue-haired Cincinnati St. Xavier Aqua Bombers at the top. You see there the front of the pool, we have our first heat of our next event, the boys 100-yard backstroke. Before we get started on that event, though, we have a very special guest here. He's not even out of breath, even though he just swam a few minutes ago. It's our 500-yard freestyle champion, Joshua McDonald. Joshua, congratulations. What a great race. How did that feel?
It felt pretty good from the beginning. I had a good mindset going in, so it was good.
So right before you in the heat, just in front of you, Kevin George jumps in, beats a district record set by a good guy, Dan Ketchum, Olympic gold medalist.
Very good swimmer.
He holds that record all of 6-7 minutes. Do you not like Kevin George? Did you think he should not have it for very long?
He's a great guy. I love Kevin, but, I mean, I wanted to take down that record before he swam, so he got it right before I did, so I was like, let's see what I can do. Let's get in the pool and swim.
Now, watching him get that record right before you, did that give you a little extra motivation?
Yeah, as soon as I saw him touch the wall, I was like, yeah, this is going to be a really good swim.
And we had 5 guys under 4:30, which for our district is pretty unheard of at this. How does it feel to be the leader of that group going into the state championships?
It feels really good. We're still a week out from state, so like it's not over yet. That's what the mindset of me right now.
Well, good luck next week.
Thank you.
Race. That's the name of the game when you get up there.
For sure.
Get in there and race, and we hope to. I know we're both looking forward to see what you do.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you to Joshua McDonald. That was an unbelievable swim.
And that brings us to the boys 100 backstroke, heat 1 of 4.
Pete Lingo, lane 2, Mac Dool, lane 3, Luke Mueller, 4, Alex Borchers, 5, John Spencer, 6, Alex Matthews, 7, James Perg, and lane 8, Matthew Schultz. And touching first in the outside was Pete Lingo, the sophomore from Cincinnati Turpin, touching in at 55.67. Now, what it took last year to make the state meet, the 24th time in the state, was a 53.00. The district meet record is held by Henrik Pullman from Beaver Creek, set last year at a 49.05.
Heat 2 jumping in the water of the boys 100-yard backstroke. There are 4 heats in this event. Lane 4 doing the old school gutter start there. Austin Sproul from Centerville keeping his hands in the gutter. And he's called to start. Out to an early lead there in lane 7 is Mike McDonald. He's a sophomore from Mason. Got good hand turnover. He's going to be our 50 leader, coming in at 25.18. A very good split. Again, as Mike said, it took a time of 53.00 to qualify for the state meet last year. Pretty good split. Might have a chance if he can bring it home.
definitely putting himself in position to be his sectional time.
Mike McDonald's going to touch at a time of 52.04. It's a very fast swim and just under 5 seconds faster than he went at the sectionals last week. An excellent swim for him, as well as up there in lane number 4. Corey Shanahan, also 52.45, under the time that it took to qualify for the state meet last year. Again, these young men should probably find out sometime this evening whether or not their time was good enough to qualify for the state meet and whether or not they're going to be traveling to the tropical Canton, Ohio area in a few days.
And in Heat 3 of this boys 100 backstroke, Lane 1, Jonathan Erickson, Turpin. Lane 2, Jacob Peliquin, Moeller. Lane 3, Noah Warbitz, Moeller. 4, Corey Shanahan, Butler. Lane 5, Cooper Hodge, Moeller. Lane 6, Cooper Kenner, Walnut Hills. Lane 7, Tim Dickman, Lebanon. And lane 8, Cameron Wallace from Springboro.
Cooper Hodge in a tight battle with lane 2, Jacob Pelican. Cooper Hodge in lane 5, the yellow cap, was our district champion last year in the 200 IM. Jacob Peliquin, he won the 100 butterfly earlier this meet. I would expect both of them to qualify for the state meet. And it is Jacob Pelican coming in a time of 50.44. It's a very fast time, followed by Cooper Hodge at 50.76. Those are very fast times for this early in heat number 3. And both of them should be challenging next week for a podium finish in Canton. And that brings us to our 4th and final heat of the boys' 100-yard backstroke. There at the top of your screen is Liam Moran, a senior from Cincinnati St. Xavier. In lane number 2, Matthew McDonald, who's a senior from Liberty Township, Lakota East. Lane 3, Justin Grender, freshman from St. Xavier. And lane number 4, also from St. Xavier, the senior James Ray. Lane 5 from Centerville, Dylan Curtis. 6, Luke Soboleski. Lane 7, a senior from Kings Mills, Jimmy Kolosiki. And finally, in lane 8, Chandler Vandeford, a junior from Springfield. We got 4 Cincinnati St. Xavier Aqua Bombers in this heat, all chasing our previous heat winner, Jacob Pelican. Again, the district record, once held by my partner Mike Andrews, is now held by Henrik Coleman of Beaver Creek, set last year in a time of 49.05.
And so far, from the first 3 heats, we've seen a lot of fast backstrokes swimming. This is going to be very, very interesting to see how these boys swim in this last and final heat. Now to the early lead, we have James Ray out at 24.41 out there in lane 4.
Looking good still at Elan's race here, coming into the 75 wall. But it is James Ray with a quarter body length lead. Good kick out. All of them chasing the 50.44 done by Jacob Pelican in the previous heat. They're not going to do it.
They're not going to do it.
Our Heat 3 winner, Jacob Pelican, is going to be our district champion by 3/100ths of a second over James Ray at 50.47. Again, it doesn't matter what heat you swim in at this particular competition. So our Heat 3 winner, Jacob Pelican, took down the big boys, the top seeds in the final heat. There, our second place finisher is James Ray. We'll take you over to the awards, and we'll get a chance to see Jacob Pelican, our winner of the boys' 100-yard backstroke.
The awards for the boys 100 backstroke from Mola, Bill Watley. In 8th place from Turpin, a junior, Jonathan Erickson. In 7th place, a senior from Mola, Noah Warabitz. In 6th place, a sophomore from Xavier, Luke Sobolewski. In 5th place, a freshman from Xavier, Justin Grinder. In fourth place, a junior from Mola, Cooper Hodge. In third place, a junior from Centerville, Dylan Curtis. In second place, a senior from St. Xavier, James Ray. And in first place, from the third heat, with a 50-44, a junior from Mola, Jacob Peliquin, your 100 fly and 100 back champion.
And there are our finalists, the top 8 for the boys' 100-yard backstroke, won by our Heat 3 winner up for his second championship of the night, Jacob Pelican. That moves us to our final individual event of the night, the boys' 100-yard breaststroke. Again, 4 heats. Our district record was set back in 2012 by Jack Pullman in a time of 56.00. We're going to have another opportunity to see our 200 IM winner and district meet record holder Tommy Copes from this event in Heat 4.
And in Heat 1, Lane 1, Robert Skog, Lakota West. Lane 2, Sam McCarthy's freshman Centerville. Lane 3, Teddy Schler, Kings. 4, Paul Kiefer, Milford. Lane 5, Chase Vandenberg, Sydney. Lane 6, Luke Tanbaraj, Sycamore. Lane 7, Rick New, Sycamore. And Lane 8, Graham Barth from Fairmont.
Lots of freshmen and sophomores in this early heat, led by Sam McCarthy, the freshman from Centerville, in lane 2 at the top of your screen. He's got almost a body length lead on the field coming into the 75. Again, last year they took a time of 1:00.22 to qualify for the state meet. It's all Sam McCarthy coming in here. 1:00.22 to qualify last year. He's going to be 1:00.27. That is a very fast swim of the first heat. He dropped not quite, but just under 4.5 seconds off of his time from last week. Again, 1:00.22 took to qualify last year. We will see. He'll have to wait till tonight. That's a great swim.
And in Heat 2 of 4, the boys 100 breaststroke. Lane 1, Daniel Cashel, freshman, Walnut Hills. Lane 2, Vinny Wolfram, Springboro. Lane 3, Owen Miesel, Tecumseh. Lane 4, Preston Bailey, Mason. Lane 5, Perrin Kansker, Mason. Lane 6, Matthew Helm, Mason. Lane 7, Miles Keener, Walnut Hills. And Lane 8, Daniel Nyberg, junior from Moeller.
Lots of Mason Comets in this heat. We are led by lane 5, Mr. Consacker from Mason, the white cap. He's got a slight lead over lane 4, Preston Bailey from Mason, his teammate.
At the third turn, you can see him really getting that work underwater from our nice camel work.
Tight battle from 2 teammates from Mason.
Practice together and race together, and getting our hand on the wall first is Preston Bailey with a 59.79.
Preston Bailey gets training bragging rights for the next year for beating his teammate Paran Consacker. Both of them under the time that it took last year to qualify for the state meet. This has thus far been a very fast event. The first couple heats, we don't expect the first couple of heats to qualify for the state meet. But certainly this event has started off that way.
Kind of keeping the momentum from the 500 free pretty much on. This meet has gotten very, very fast.
This is one of the faster district meets that I can recall in a long time. And I'm getting old. We have heat 3 of the boys 100-yard breaststroke. Lane 1, Keith Jesse. Lane 2, Blake Brockman. 3, Alex Wade. 4, Chris Corin. Lane 5, Zach Baker. Lane 6, Benjamin Palowitz. Lane 7, Sam Wiedemann. And in lane 8, Evan Schlosser, freshman from Anderson.
It looks like out in the early lead, Chris Corin touching first there in lane 4 from Centerville out in the 27:07.
Very quick split for the swimmer from Centerville in lane 4. Got a slight lead over Keith Jesse in lane number 1. Coming into the final lap here, it is all Chris Corin from Centerville trying to get a time that will qualify, but better than that, he's going to set a time of 57.16 that last heat is going to have to pay attention to. We just had in the previous event a swimmer in heat 3 win the overall event. Again, you do not have to be in the final heat to win this. This is all the times go in any heat you're in, so that's a very fast swim, 57.16. Mike, I don't understand it. That's 4.5 seconds faster than he went last week. That's something.
I'm starting to think that this Sunday afternoon is starting to really help the later events of the meet versus, typically maybe after a long day in the classroom, at the typical Friday night, maybe having a little time off. The boys are swimming a little faster this year in the second, generally this time of the meet, the second events that they swim.
Sounds fair. Here's our fourth heat. In lane 1, Terry Towle. Lane 2, Mitchell Ellis from Fairfield. Lane 3, Luke Van Gorp from St. Xavier. Lane 4, Tommy Cope, our district record holder in 200 IM. Lane 5, Dylan Frost. Lane 6, Nicholas Holler. 7, Jackson Tinsley. And in lane 8, the senior from Centerville, Nathan Lowry. Our 200 IM winner and district record holder, Tommy Cope, out to a very strong lead, 25.76, a little over a second faster than our previous heat winner. That split puts the district record on notice of 56.00 by Jack Pullman. Good pull-out by Cope. It is him and him alone. He is chasing the district record of 56.00. He's going to come into the wall, and he's going to beat it, 55.30. 2 individual events, 2 district records for Tommy Cope. 56.00 is now 55.30. It is hard to have a better Sunday afternoon than Mr. Cope is having here today. Fantastic swim. Second district record in 2 events for Mr. Cope. We will see him on the award stand in 1 minute.
Last call. Any more? Last call.
Okay, we're going to go with the award ceremony for the boys 100 breaststroke. These are being presented by Tucker Flaherty from Springboro. In 8th place, from St. Xavier, a sophomore, Blake Brockman. In 7th place, a freshman from St. Xavier, Alex Wade. In 6th place, a senior from Centerville, Nathan Lowry. In 5th place, a sophomore from St. Xavier, Luke Van Gorp. In 4th place, a senior from Lakota East, Keith Jesse. In 3rd place, a sophomore from St. Xavier, Dylan Frois. In 2nd place, a junior from Centerville, Chris Quarren. And in first place from Butler, a junior with a new district record, 55.3, Tommy Cope. Congratulations to Tommy Cope. Great swim.
All right, there are the top 8 finishers in the boys 100-yard breaststroke, led by Tommy Cope, district champion, district record holder. That leads us to the final event on the program, the boys 400 freestyle relay. We have 3 heats of this event. The district meet record is not held by Cincinnati St. Xavier. It is okay. We may not go right into the relay. We do have a swim off. The boys 100 freestyle was tied in second place. Now, the top 2 qualifiers from our district automatically go to the state meet, and after that, they begin selecting at-large individuals based on times only. There's no question that both of these individuals are going to be going to the state meet. We always have multiple at-large qualifiers, but just in case, in the unlikely event that something happens, we need to have all ties resolved before all of the results are sent to Columbus before they start deciding who gets to go to the state meet. And typically this will be resolved in the relays, but maybe we don't have relays for both teams. All right, in lane 4 at the top of your screen, we have Zach Apple. In lane 5, Dylan Curtis. 4 lengths to the pool, 100 free to decide the second place finisher in the boys 100-yard freestyle.
I don't know about you, Marty, but to me, there's just nothing much more exciting than a good swim-off.
This has nothing to do with time, but everything to do with just getting out there and racing. Zach Apple, I think he has decided he wants to be aggressive on this, and he is going to be first at the 50 in a very quick 21.71. Zach Apple is being very aggressive. We'll see if Dylan Curtis can come back on him here in the final 50. Zach Apple coming in, but here comes Dylan Curtis. Did Zach Apple take it out too quick? They don't want to tie again. 6/100ths of a second separate the two. Zach Apple, he's able to hang on at 46.02, just beating Dylan Curtis by 6/100ths of a second. Fast swim, good swim for both of those individuals. And you see the Centerville swimmer there. He's got about 9.5 minutes before he's got to swim on a 400 free relay. So he's going to go straight to the warm down pool and try to rest up.
Her sister-in-law's going to be
Okay, now you see the first heat of the boys 400 freestyle relay gathering behind the blocks. We're going to have 3 heats of the boys 400 free relay. And as we're waiting for the officials to gather everything together, we do have a winner of a second event with us. We'll get to that right after the start of this 400 free relay.
And there are 3 heats of this 400 free relay. And in Heat 1, Lane 1, Xenia. 2, Fairfield. 3, Butler. 4, Anderson. 5, Lebanon. 6, Northmont. 7, Elder. And rounding out the field in Lane 8, Milford. The district record is held by Cincinnati Moeller, set in 2009 with a 3:05.53. And the 24th time they qualified for the state meet last year was a 3:17:51.
All right, with us here poolside, Tommy Cope, winner of the boys 100-yard breaststroke. Was it Lionel Richie, the Easy Like Sunday Morning? What a Sunday you've had here today. Second meet record. How does it feel?
It feels pretty good.
Going into this meet, what was your best time in the 100 breast?
54:85.
All right, so you clearly wanted to get under the district record. You did that. Looking forward to next week, what are you looking to improve upon?
I'm just going to not try to rush it as much. I felt like I was kind of trying a little too hard, so I think I'm going to try to relax it.
What are your goals for next week besides not letting anybody beat you?
I don't know. I'm just looking forward to racing Ross Palazzo.
Good. Look in the camera, say hi to anybody. That's pretty easy. 2 district records in 2 events. Very impressive performance. We both wish you the best of luck next week.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, we're back here to heat number 1 of the boys 400 freestyle relay. Out to an early lead there in lane 7. The team from Elder, coached by
Mr. Bill Keating.
Bill Keating is correct. He has coached them to an early lead here at the halfway point of heat 1.
Not a 27, but a 28. What is the national cut?
They're in the purple cap, the team from Elder. Last year, it took a 3:17.51 to qualify for the state meet. Good battle for second in the middle of the pool between Anderson and Lebanon. The Lebanon Warriors but it is all Elder at this point in heat 1. Coming into the 300-yard mark, 100 yards to go.
And Zach Smith, the sophomore from Elder, is going to try to maintain that lead. See him getting off to his relay start.
Moving up there at the top of your screen, that's a swimmer from Anderson in lane 4. He's trying to chase down the swimmer from Elder. Capture heat 1.
It was terrible. Can't have half a second, 4/10 of a second. I was surprised when he got
All right, 25 yards to go. We got a good battle. The team from Lebanon, the Lebanon Warriors, my hometown. Well, adopted hometown. Lebanon Warriors are going to take heat 1. The boys 400 freestyle relay at a time of 3:29.21, just ahead of Anderson and Elder, our early leaders. Again, last year it took a 2:17.51 to qualify, so those teams are not in danger of that, but also they're looking forward. A lot of times you get some of these younger swimmers in these relays, and then they look to qualify for the next year or the year after that. All right, the officials have called heat number 2 to the blocks, the boys 400 freestyle relay.
And in lane 1, Springfield. Lane 2, Beaver Creek. Lane 3, Oak Hills. Lane 4, Centerville. Lane 5, Walnut Hills. Lane 6, Kettering Fairmount. Lane 7, Coleraine. And lane 8, Troy. Like out to the very early lead with the swimmer from Oak Hills. Split Austin Vickery, splitting a 24:38 on the way out for his 50 split of his 100.
We have seen some event winners from the third heats of 4. That's unlikely to happen in a relay situation. But these teams are definitely looking to set a time that will qualify them for the state meet in Canton. Good battle in the middle of the pool. Oak Hills, Centerville, Go Big Nuts, Walnut Hills, Jamie Marcotte. Good swim by the team from Fairmont. A tight battle with the team from Centerville. Neck and neck. on the second leg. Good turn there by the swimmer from Centerville. Not used to seeing Centerville in the next to the last heat. They're usually challenging for district championship. Halfway point, it is all Centerville. A little over second lead ahead of Fairmont.
Centerville probably benefiting from that clean water they have in the center lane here in this heat.
All Centerville on the third leg here. We've got a 2-body length lead ahead of Fairmont. Good battle for third between Oak Hills, Beaver Creek, and Lebanon. I could have said Waynesville. Last leg exchange here. Team from Centerville right on pace to post a time to qualify for the state meet. They're in excellent position to do that, and they should be winning Heat 3 by this much. We have a head shaver here. Now I can see some yellow. The yellow hair of the Centerville Elks. They've been doing that for a long time for reasons that no one really can understand. But the fourth swimmer here from Centerville has plenty of clean water coming into the final turn of Heat 2 of the boys 400 free relay. They're going to comfortably qualify for the state meet next year and win Heat number 2, taking a breath with the last stroke, which will draw the ire of his coach, but they're going to win Heat number 2 in a time of 3:17.45. Again, last year it took a 3:17.51 to qualify for the state meet, so the Centerville team, I thought they'd be a little bit quicker. Those last couple of legs didn't quite show up. They're going to be right on the bubble.
Yes, it might be a long night of waiting and anticipation as the results come in throughout the state to see who's going to make the state meet in this event, which leads us to our third and final heat and last heat of the day here for the boys districts. And in lane 1, we have Turpin. Lane 2, Moeller. Lane 3, Sycamore. Lane 4, St. Xavier. Lane 5, Mason. Lane 6, Lakota East. Lane 7, Springboro. And rounding out the field in Lane 8, team from LaSalle. The district meet record, 3:05.53, set by Moeller. And the time that's kind of the goalpost is 3:17.51 is what made the state meet last year.
St. Xavier in the middle of the pool, the defending district and state champion last year. And they're expected to be in the mix all throughout this. First to the turn, a team from Moeller in lane number 2, but a tightly bunched field. Mason also starting out strong, right in the middle of the pool in the dark cap.
To improve on.
Justin Hove, senior from Mason, getting him out to an early lead, coming in the first exchange, touches with a time of 46:34.
Very strong swim by the leadoff swimmer from Mason. You're going to see different coaches using different strategies. Some put their faster swimmers at the front of the relay, some put them towards the end. So expect to see some lead changes. Our 100 free champion, Grant House, is still waiting to swim for St. Xavier.
And out there in lane 2, Kevin George for Moeller, starting to get the Moeller team with an early lead in this race.
Kevin George, our hard luck 500 free district record holder, who had the record for all of 7 minutes before it was smashed. He is touching first at the halfway point in the boys 400 free relay. Can Moeller hang on? Moeller at the top of the pool is going to need a good lead going into the final swimmer. Our 100 and 200 freestyle champion, Grant House, is yet to swim for St. X. We know it, and the Moeller swimmer knows it.
Justin Davidson from Moeller trying to hold Grant Carr off from St. Xavier to give Noah Warbitz, senior from Moeller, the biggest lead he can, because Grant House from St. Xavier is going to do his best to track him down.
1 second lead for the swimmer from Moeller over Grant House,
who was the district champion in this event earlier tonight.
Good first 25 by the swimmer from Moeller. He's not going to give it to him. He's going to make him earn it. That second lead is now gone. St. Xavier and Moeller tied going at 50 yards left. And there is nobody that's going to catch Grant House. Grant House, 2 individual event wins. He is anchoring this relay to victory at a time of 3:07.74, just off the district record. But the 3rd relay win for the Cincinnati St. Xavier Aqua Bombers. Great swim by Moeller coming in at 2nd place. They definitely gave St. X all that they could handle. There is Grant House. Has not lost an event here at the 2015 District Championships, and certainly doesn't want to do so next week in Canton. Congratulations to St. Xavier, and we're going to see them on the award stand.
There, but I'm sure you can manage it. The 400 Freestyle Relay Awards are being presented by Kathy Heitler from Lebanon.
Hey, thanks, guys.
In 8th place, Centerville A, Jacob Brooks, Austin Sproul, Sam McCarthy, and Michael Sparks.
We had him since he was 6 on our summer team.
In 7th place, Turpin, Jonathan Erickson, Liam Grebert, Cole Dellinger, and Matthew Wilson. In 6th place, Springboro, Justin Chapman, Alex Matthews, Max Horenza, and Zach Backer.
Oh, yeah, I think I have $5 in there. I don't know.
In 5th place, for Lakota East, Josh McDonald, Matt McDonald, Keith Jesse, and Brad Barron. In 4th place, Sycamore, Isaac Goldstein, Ben Teese, John Hellman, and Mark Henshaw. In third place, Mason, Justin Hove, Preston Bailey, Alex Melcher, and Joel Thatcher. In second place, Mola, Jacob Peliquin, Kevin George, Justin Davidson, and Noah Warowitz. And in first place, your district champions with a time of 3:07.74. Xavier, Joe Berno, Liam Moran, Garant Carr, and Garant House. Thank you to the officials, thank you to the timers, thank you to the meet workers. Congratulations to the athletes.
And there are our top 8 finishers of the boys 400 freestyle relay, the final event of the afternoon. St. Xavier once again dominating at this meet. Mike, go ahead and give me some of your final thoughts.
I thought it'd be fast, but I had no idea it was going to be this fast top to bottom. This is one of the quickest all-around district meets I've ever had the privilege to watch. It was very exciting. I can't wait to see what our district can do upstate next weekend.
These young men are going to be heading up to Canton, challenging for state records. For my partner, Michael Andrews, the good folks of Waycross, we appreciate you watching the boys 2015 district championships.